Okay, here's our project for today. We're going to work on a couple of WaterPiks. Both of these have been a little tired and don't seem to produce the pressure they used to, and it almost sounds like the pump is stalling. Now that could be a couple of issues, and I'll try and cover both of those today. But these are two similar but not identical models that we have, and I was going to show you how to get them apart and see if you can revive them for better use. Okay, our first step is to take one of the WaterPiks and see if we can get it apart. Step one, let's see if we can get the nozzle out of it. You should be familiar with how to do that. Take that out and set it aside. Now, the WaterPik is actually made up of two parts, this white one and the blue part here, and they actually come apart. And what you have to do is kind of pry them apart. They sometimes are kind of tricky. And there we go. They come apart like that and lift up. You'll see the nozzle down here on the bottom that mates with the reservoir, the blue part being the reservoir and the white part's the battery and the motor. So once you get them apart, you'll notice these are the hints right here. I don't know whether you can see those or not, but there's little plastic clips that interface with the upper lip in this blue part. So you have to, I believe, push down first and then out this way and then up. Be careful not to crack the plastic, that's the important thing. Okay, next step, we have to get the inner workings out of this white case, and the trick to that is a flat blade screwdriver. And what you want to do is pry this ferrule or whatever you call it out of the top, and you just have to be careful not to crack it. Again, prying it up, it just pries straight up. Watch you don't lose it, like I almost did. It looks like this when it comes out. It fits right in the top. Nothing magical about it. Set that aside. And you'll need a Phillips screwdriver for the bottom. There are two screws in the bottom here. I don't know whether you can see those if I get it up good and close. Those are very easy to get out. Just get your Phillips screwdriver in there and take them out. Now these are very small screws, so hang on to them because they will be hard to replace if you were to lose them. Take that out of there, like so. And you can push from the top and slide the whole inner workings out. And that's what it looks like right there. If I, let me see if I get it like this, you might be able to see a little better. Batteries here in the middle. Here's the pump motor gear over here, and the pump itself is on the bottom. This is the pump right here, turned by the motor. So next job will be to see if we can lubricate this in some way. So stand by, I'll get my other equipment and we'll get started on that. Okay, I've gotten both of my WaterPiks apart, and you'll notice that I have two different vintages here. The one on the right appears to be a little bit older than the one on the left, and other than that, they're pretty similar. The pumping mechanisms, the motor, and the pump itself are virtually identical on both of these units. You notice the power plug is a little bit different, and there's a reason for that. This one, the older one, I believe, has what is called sub-C. It means they're smaller than a C-size battery. There's two of them in here. They're nickel metal hydride. They're 1.2 volts, and they're in series, so you get 2.4 volts. And you can buy these replacements if your batteries are if the batteries are the problem. You can replace these by just soldering them back in here where the old ones were. The newer one is also nickel metal hydride, but they use a smaller battery. These appear to be like a double A size, two of them soldered in series, but again 2.4 volts powering the motor. So they're very similar, and if batteries are your problem, you can replace either kind of battery if you know where to buy them, and there are a number of places online you can do that. But the project here today, I believe, is lubrication. The pump right down here, if I turn this on, you may see the action of it moving. If I get it close enough, that is. You can see what's happening there. The plunger's going in and out of this unit. And that's typically what needs to be lubricated. though there are some gears in this area that you can lubricate, and again, they're virtually identical. This one runs better because I already lubricated it. You can hear the difference, and it runs much faster. So let's try and lubricate this one today. I'll get my lube out and explain that to you here in a minute. Okay, we're going to try to lube this WaterPik right now, and here's what you're going to need. I've got, of course, a paper towel or two. I've got a couple of dental picks. Now, these are something I inherited from my father. I think he got them from a neighbor who was a dentist, but you can use a toothpick, for instance, something to place lubricant on that's got a fine point on it. Okay, but I've got the dental picks. Important now is the lubrication itself. Here's what I'm going to use is, if you can read that, it's Magic Lube. And this is actually lubricant for my pool pump O-rings. Important thing about lube when you're working on a medical device like this is that you're not poisoning somebody. This stuff is rated by the USDA as H1 rating. I don't know if it's close enough to read that, but it's right in here. USDA H1 rated, and that means it's usable in food preparation products, that sort of thing. If you have equipment that you prepare food with, you can use this lubricant on it. So it's safe and non-toxic is the important thing. And it's a gooey kind of PTFE, they call it. Really is Teflon based and silicone lubricant. Now, getting it into the device is another option, or another item altogether, so stand by. Okay, take your WaterPik and turn it over and find these two Phillips screws here. I've already got one taken out. And what you want to do is take both of those out and set the screws aside in your dish so again you don't lose them. Okay, this is a little tricky, but I think you'll see how it works. You have to kind of pry the pump assembly forward. It's hard to do. And of course I can't do it on camera. Have to lift up and move it forward. Had it out before. There we go. I'm getting it. Are you seeing any of this? Okay. Once you get it pushed forward, you can pull it out like that, and you've got the whole pump. And what I want to do is get down inside of this piston, which pulls right out of here, and lube the inside of that with some of my PTFE lubricant. I'll put that back together. You want to lube this bearing right here that is inside of the piece you just took off, and you'll also want to get in here and get some lube on this large gear. And I think that's about it. That's where the lubrication points are, and I believe this pump is the most important one. So get that done. I'm going to lube these, put them back together, and see how it works. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, things are all back together and working really well. One seems to pump a little better than the other one, and the older one seems to run a little better. If you listen to it, seems to run at a higher speed than this one. But they're both as good as new, really. So give this a try and hope you work out all right. Now, I didn't replace the batteries in either one of these, so it was just a lube issue. Good luck in the future.